She could sing low and she could sing high. Jingle bells should be able to cut through the mix. You hear this song all the time, and she's literally like a fairy. I'm a fairy.
Musical fairy.
You know that song?
No.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us on the ARkaiVE Podcast. My name is Kyra, and this is my co-host,
Jonathan.
And we are the ARkaiVE Podcast. This is where we dive into popular music, and we talk about the people who made the music popular.
And the artists who made it. Yeah. Who are people.
Yes,
yeah.
They are people. And today we have a special episode, in my opinion, because this woman, you hear this song all the time, and she's literally like a fairy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fairy.
Musical fairy.
You know that song?
No.
She's like a fairy. What? I mean, yeah.
Who's that?
I'm going to show you that after this. Okay. Yes, but she's like a musical fairy. Her voice has traveled through generations. Her voice has traveled through genres. And yeah, her name is Deniece, aka Deniece Williams. Yeah, so Jonathan, tell me like how you or your first experience with her music, or like.
I mean, I've heard, so let's hear it for the boy.
Talking to your mic, brother.
Sorry. The song Let's Hear It for the Boy, which is like.
Let's hear it for the boy.
Yeah, really big. And I remember, I believe. So when I was younger, right, I did got a little chunky at a little point, right? And I was doing like, what's his name? Richard
Smallwood?
No, the exercise guy with the curly hair.
Oh, he was like, yes.
Yeah. So I think that song was on one of his, because he used to do like Dancing with the Oldies and all the like whatever. So I think that's maybe how I heard that song.
Was Lisa Rinna in that? Do you know who that is?
No, I know who you're talking about. I don't think she was, but maybe. I didn't know who that was. But anyway, that's how I think. And then through the radio,
you heard that song?
That was the song. Let's Hear It for the Boy.
Yes, that was.
It's a movie.
I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't know that song until doing this research.
Really?
Yeah. Like my first introduction was her song "Free." I just
right, that song, and I didn't realize that was her.
Yeah, I thought it was Minnie Riperton.
Me too.
Yeah, but that kind of like describes her vocal ability, because we know Minnie Riperton for that la 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 la, but that like high pitch whistle tone, So I thought that was really cool that like there was another person who had that same type of tone, that soft like. Touch to her voice. But Deniece Williams is a Grammy Award-winning American singer, songwriter, and producer, and she's known for her 4-octave vocal range. So for those of you who may not know what an octave or vocal range, she could sing low and she could sing high.
Give the audience what an octave is. Like.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right?
Yeah.
1 to 8 is an octave.
8 notes.
Yes, 8 notes.
Yeah.
So she can sing those 8, and then she could sing another 8, and then she could sing another 8, and then one more round of 8s. She has a 4-octave range, which is very difficult to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult. It's like vocal acrobatics, basically. And her ability, she was known for her ability to cross genres seamlessly. She went through soul music, R&B, pop, and even gospel. Mm-hmm. And sometimes she would do these genres even in the same year, which people say like artists shouldn't do. Like, just wait to do that when you get older. And it's like this woman was able to sustain her career and go from genre to genre, which is really cool. And I love that she's from Gary, Indiana.
Right?
Michael Jackson.
The whole Jackson tribe.
Literally, Gary, Indiana. I feel like there's somebody else that I know.
I was looking at Gary and there's a lot of people. Yeah. I mean, people that I don't even know about. But I was looking at a lot of NFL players came from Gary.
Really?
Yeah, it's like football player. But it's the list goes on.
Maybe I need to move to Gary.
Right?
I think Joey, who was managing me in LA. I think he's from there too, his family. Wow. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. And she rose to prominence. She rose to got her first hit. Or within the years of the 70s and the 80s. Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. So, okay, let's start. We talked about her vocal range and everything. Her whistle register mastery. So, as many of you, if you listen to music, you know that there are like key singers who have their whistle notes. I think two of the prominent today is like Mariah Carey and Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I would.
Yeah.
I would think that Ariana doesn't use hers as much because of that comparison. That'd be my only guess, because if I could whistle tone, I'd be whistle toning
all the time, right?
My voicemail, I would whistle tone.
Yeah.
Like, but
I feel like Ari uses it like in like the back of her song.
Yes.
Where Mariah uses it in her lead vocal. Yes. Yeah, which I think that's cool to kind of use it in a more distinctive way.
Right.
Where we still hear it, we can still apply it to like our vocal memory of her.
Right.
But it's not as, Mariah's.
Do you know how different musical styles and different musical nuances can come in and out of popularity? Do you feel like the whistle tone is kind of like not popular right now?
I think a lot of the girls can't do it.
Right.
So that's why we don't hear it.
Which is the reason why I think Ariana should do more of it.
Right. Yes.
And that's why I feel like Mariah did it.
Do you count Ariana being one of the new girls?
No. Yeah. Not at this point. Not after a decade. She's like had 7-8 albums or whatever. No, I don't. Even though she still looks new. You know what I mean? Like she still looks really young.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't look as old as she is. But no, I don't classify her as the vocals overall are just different than like when you look at artists like Deniece and you look at artists like Minnie and Sarita. Like Sarita is all three of them. They were like friends and artistic friends. So like Sarita was ex-wife of she's a musician, but she used to be married to Stevie Wonder.
Oh yeah, and Deniece sang background for Stevie.
For Stevie and for Sarita.
Okay,
and
so
for Minnie.
Tell me about Sarita.
So Sarita, I don't know a lot about Sarita, but she was Stevie Wonder's like partner, and she was also an artist. But he really helped her craft her like sound, and he would like help produce her. And he like the songs in the Key of Life, the Talking Book, Fulfillingness, First Finale. Like Sarita did a lot of background vocals. They also had like a duet together. So these three women kind of had the same. They were kind of in the same lane.
Sarita, Deniece, and who?
I'm about to say Roberta. Well,
Roberta was in the mix.
Roberta was in the mix too, but
Roberta Flack for y'all.
Minnie Ripperton.
Minnie.
So they were all, because they all had that high register, the R&B slow jams, the kind of the kind of slow jam vibe. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that they all. Okay, so two things. I love that they all, hung out and supported each other in their like musical creation and stuff. And then also, I think that today, the people who have a say-so, quote unquote, they don't know what to do with singers.
Right.
Like real singers. And what I mean by that is we don't really have producers these days who want to take the time to like sculpt a real song. Right. Like I was even reading something about Miss Deniece, and how her later production just didn't hit the same from the 70s and the 80s. And it's because that's not her fault.
No.
Like
it's the way music, it's the fads in music.
Yes. It's like they just want to, take the drums from a Biggie Smalls song and they want to put a guitar from over here. It's like they're not actually sculpting something.
And I also feel that musicians or artists, musical artists, and producers don't have musical background.
Mm.
I feel like newer producers are good with this, with the technical stuff, and they know how to sandwich sounds together and make cool things. But at the end of the day, like if you were gonna try to do a song,
They're not musicians.
they're not musicians. Like they're not gonna put a song that's composition like a Burt Bacharach song.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they don't know how to layer strings,
Yeah.
and they don't know how to write music,
Yeah.
and they don't know notes.
Yeah.
So like when you were talking about how her music has kind of evolved, I feel that when she was in her early R&B pocket and when she was working with real instruments and producers that were, that's her best music to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like her most.
And
like,
R&B isn't the same genre that it was then.
No.
You know, that was a time where people who were making R&B and who were being celebrated, you know, for this were actually laying. And I've experienced this in my own career. Like I went to college for music. I know how to read music, but I feel I know how to write music. I understand the amount of time it takes to build a record with that much, like, is substantial a word? Substance. Yes, with that much substance. It takes a lot of time, and I even know how to produce something like that where I may not be playing the actual bass guitar, but I can write out the notes, or I can, you know, I can communicate musically. And from my own experience, I've been in sessions or under certain labels and authority that's like, no, like, that's too much. Like, you just need to go with this producer right here. Like, y'all need to make a song today.
Right.
And it's just like
why just today?
You know, and I feel like that's actually, I'm trying to like unlearn and get back to where I was, because now I'm thinking like, oh, I just need to make all these songs. And it's like, okay, but the quality stuff is going to come from me like sitting down and like actually like tapping into my creativity, you know?
Yeah. But I think it's a balance of both too.
Yeah.
Like it depends on where you're at creatively at that moment, right? But I think, yes, definitely for sure. Also with the technology too. It's like they didn't have all of the screen. There was like no screens on any of this stuff. It was like all kind of analog. And so you really had like, what it was, an 8-track, 16 tracks you would have to do. You know, there's only certain amount of musical information that you could put on a song. So you had to pick exactly what you wanted. You couldn't have a whole bunch of extra, right?
Yeah.
And also, as we talked about, what was allowed on the album. Like you can only have 10 songs.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so her first album, This Is Deniece, came out in 1976. And that included the hit Free.
That just oozes Solange to me.
For real.
Like Solange needs to do it. I know. Like I just want her to sing.
Which did you see Solange is putting on a single yesterday?
No.
Or this Friday with, guess who?
Oh, wait, Mariah Carey?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because they re-released.
It came out?
Yes. I thought you meant
a solo.
To it? Yes.
Oh, I need to listen to it.
Yeah, it's good. It's cool.
Okay.
I love that album.
Okay,
the Emancipation of Mimi. Yeah. I thought you meant a solo.
I
was like, wait.
No,
yeah,
she's making clay tables right now.
You gotta be really excited right now. Okay. But
she's architecting clay tables right now.
Is that what she's doing?
I don't know, but she's really into like interior design and like architecture right now. So
no, but it's a good song. Like the remix for Say Something is the song that she did. It's really good.
I'm gonna listen to it. What were we saying?
We were talking about
Free.
Yes.
Yes. That song literally feels like a fairy, a black fairy.
It does.
Like a black fairy twiddling down and putting like flowers and fairy dust, and
it's a vibe. Yeah, it is. It is.
You know?
It's a twinkly, but like the vocals are just light and airy and free. It's just like, it's such a vibe song. Yeah. It's good.
Just makes you want to put on headphones at the beach and like close my eyes, you know?
Yeah.
That's like so ideal for me. Okay. And then in 1984, she got her first #1 hit, with "Let's Hear It for the Boy," and that's when you are in the living room like this,
right? From Footloose.
Oh, I never saw that.
Me either. But it was a popular.
Oh, it came from that. Oh yeah.
It came from that soundtrack.
It was for this.
I feel like that was one of the things where she had that song recorded, and they were like, "Oh, this is gonna work."
Yeah.
And it just became a hit.
Yeah.
I don't think they called her in to make this song.
But the little boy in the beginning of the video,
I never saw it.
Oh, okay. So I watched the video. The beginning of the video, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna bring that up. But the boy,
okay,
he is now married to Into the Unknown. You know that the girl Idina from Frozen. Idina
Menzel?
Yes.
Because she used to be married to Love and Basketball.
Omar?
No. Oh, sorry, not Love and Basketball. The Wood.
From Forever? Like this new show?
Gosh, what's the man name?
Tay Diggs?
Yeah. And Dina used to be married. They used to be married.
That fits.
So who is this? Is he black?
No, I don't know.
The guy in the video?
The video is black and white. At least on my phone, because I have a black and white filter on my phone right now, so I couldn't see it in color.
So everything is on your phone is black and white?
Yes.
Is that an app?
No.
How do you do that?
Accessibility. I can show you later.
Why do people do that? Like, why?
Because the dopamine that your body gets from the phone, a lot of it comes from the color. So like Instagram app, it's all of the colors that rise your dopamine. Like,
got it.
It's like pinkish red with yellow, blue. So I turned it off and I've been on my phone less. Got it. I like that. But now I don't see anything in color. So like that Tiana Taylor thing.
So you're like a bat.
Basically.
I don't know if this is color.
I'm a fairy.
I made that whole thing up. I don't know if that's...
Yes, I'm a fairy though.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So, yes, I don't know if the little boy is black or white.
Yeah, but was he light skinned?
That's what I'm saying. He might be light skinned.
Oh, interesting. I just wonder if she married somebody white. Yeah. That's what.
And I didn't want to say this, but okay, in the beginning of the video, he has this hat on. Okay. And there's a shadow. The way the lighting is, there's a shadow on. He's in like a school. Yeah, pull it up. It's for the boy. Let's hear it for the boy. I'm putting in free. I knew you were. I can't see your laptop, but I knew that you were typing free. So the little boy, the shadow, is on the wall. And she takes the hat. White. He's white. Yeah. She takes the hat off, but it looks like a KKK hat, doesn't it? That could be a dunce cap. Why is it so tall? Because that's what a dunce cap is. A dunce cap is a thing. I think it's real. Like when you were in school, it does look like. But when you were in school and you messed up, and you had to wear that. You had to sit in the corner and wear a dunce cap. Oh, so like that's what that is. Cap, like because I'm like, she's telling this little boy to leave the KKK behind. Okay, not the new narrative. This is me watching it in black. I'm watching it as you're talking about it. And she puts the top hat. She's like, take this KKK hat off and put on this top hat. Actually, he is biracial. Oh, he's biracial. Yeah. See, that's why I watched it in black and white. He could be. But yeah, that's what I didn't want to say. But it's not. It's a dunce cap. Okay. Which a dunce. So you would misbehave in school. This is old. And it was like made to humiliate you. Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Got you. Okay, so you know what I did this thing, right? I went online and I asked chat. Y'all know chat? ChatGPT? Yes. Okay. I said chat. Who would you compare vocally to Deniece Williams and why? All right. So they said Mariah Carey. Okay. They said both artists, it said both artists possess extraordinary vocal ranges, including a whistle register, and are known for their melismatic singing style and have roots in both secular and gospel music. They said Minnie Riperton. They said Minnie is probably the closest in comparison. I wonder if Minnie wrote anything for her. And like Deniece, she has a pure and I always mess up this word. Ethereal soprano, which again, what sopranos are singing today in music? Like upper register. You know who Queen
popular.
Naija is?
A little bit. I've heard of that name, and I may have heard one of her.
She was singing a Beyonce song online. She was killing it, like killing it, and it was such a high song, full out. But like, why doesn't she do that on her records?
Because back to our point, I don't think it's in style right now. And also, speaking on that, I think that there are a lot of musicians out there, just artists in general, who we don't know their full like artistry. Like I feel like a lot of artists hold back things now more so than then for whatever reason. Oh, the producer's like, oh, don't sing so loud, or that's too much, or like I feel like a lot of artists are being held back creatively. But
yeah, and I think it's because the people who are behind the board don't know what to do with it. You know, like if someone sings in a belty way,
right? How you
like the same? If Aretha Franklin was cutting through the mix well, like somebody who has that same type of vibe, Jingle Bells should be able to cut through the mix.
Yo, I was watching something. Okay, the Good Morning America commercial.
Yes.
And there's a woman in the background who sounds just like Jennifer Hudson, but I don't think it's her. It's gonna be sunshiny day. And I was like, okay.
Yo, oh my gosh, I love her. Okay.
But like the same thing goes for like Fantasia. So imagine like Fantasia walks into
and they
the
record
studio,
her well.
But I imagine some people don't know how to harness her voice in a track.
Right. Yeah.
It's a lot of voice. She has huge vocals, and how do you? And it's also like, speaking of Fantasia, who has that real, I would say, a thick,
emotional.
Well, emotional, but it's deep church. Mm-hmm. Like you can hear the church in her voice. And how do you take that and make a pop song like Hood Boy, or you know what I mean?
I keep thinking of that Jingle Bells,
right? Like
no facts.
But anyway, it goes to a point of like with like Minnie Riperton and these artists of this day were able to like have like tracks where their full vocal potential in that register, in that realm was like showcased. Yeah, and I feel like artists aren't doing a lot of that right now, or at least the popular ones that are in the top 100.
Yeah,
you know.
And there were two artists that Chad compared her to that I love. I think it was spot on because Deniece's voice was like gentle. It was soft. It was like feminine. It was light. It was like a hug, you know? Yeah. And they compared her to Corinne Bailey Rae. Okay. Just like a star across my sky. Right. And Leanne LaHavas. Yes. That's one of my favorite artists, you know? And they both, and on Leanne's side, Leanne has more of like a soulful, like vibrato. Mm-hmm. It sounds like an organ revving up, you know? Mm-hmm. And then Corinne is very like gentle, you know? Mm-hmm. So I thought that was really cool.
But you know what's Corinne's newest album that we really...
The rock joint. It's like a rock album. Yeah.
Like that's a whole different side of her.
Yeah.
Which you didn't...
I love that though.
I love that. That's a good album.
I aspire to be an artist like Leanne and Corinne because they do what they want. Mm-hmm. And they come out the woodworks when they want to come out the woodworks, you know?
Right. And they make music as all artists should, but aren't necessarily like they're
allowed to.
They're allowed, right?
I think it's what you want.
Yes,
it's the end goal of what you want. Right. Like if you're chasing fame and fortune, you're gonna have to go by a strict code. Yeah, like you have to do what they say.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Whoever they is at the moment. You know, even if they don't make music, like, but if you want fame and fortune, you have to do that. But I don't get that from them.
If you want fame, because the fortune part, that's a little... I mean, if you want fame, people say that for fame and fortune, but I feel like the fortune part, you get famous, but I don't feel like you make a lot of money.
Yeah,
sometimes.
True. But I feel like in the music industry, if you're famous, you can make money.
True.
in different ways, not just from the music,
True.
because music doesn't make us money anyway. Let's be like honest. Touring does, and fame can sell them tickets.
That's true. Yeah.
So like, yeah. But I really respect those two artists. I respect too, like someone like this, or I would put in the same world, Esperanza Spalding. Do you know who that is?
Yes, she won Best New Artist.
She did.
And then after that, she was like, boop.
She hides.
She plays saxophone. She's jazz. No, she's jazz.
Upright bass.
Okay, why did I get
And
saxophone?
she sings.
Right, but she's a jazz, technically a jazz.
She plays bass,
art.
period.
Yeah.
Like any bass. She does live in the jazz world.
Right.
Like she just put out an album a couple years ago where she made songs for all of the organs of the body.
Oh, wow.
Like when you play it, it's supposed to heal that organ. But that's just because that's what she wanted to do.
Right.
And like she sells out tours. She has her niche, and then she does what she wants. But that's someone who knows how to play instruments. She writes operas. She writes like not limited to even just being like a sex symbol.
Right.
Nobody cares. They just care about her being a musician.
Right.
Like that's the level of like, that's the world I would love to just stay in forever.
And speaking of that, what I think is so interesting about Deniece is it's clear that her spirituality is important to her and her religion. And what she does in her discography is what you had just touched on, is she balances that thin line of being a pop artist, remaining integrity to who she is and what she believes in, but also bringing in her beliefs into her music.
Yeah.
Even though this doesn't matter, but while making people feel not threatened. You know what I mean? Because religion can make people feel threatened in music, right?
Yeah.
And she was able to, and she made very particular moves to be like, no, she stood in it. Like she was like, I'm going to do
10
this.
toes down.
And and one of the main things is something that you introduced me to. Well, you kind of introduced me to Deniece, even though I knew of her songs, but I didn't know who she was as an artist. But you had showed me that, mentioned that recording of when she performed, is the Grammys or the Oscars?
Yeah, Academy Awards,
where she was supposed to, no, I think this is a Grammy, where she was supposed to perform one of her pop songs. And she ended up performing one of her gospel songs and tore it down. But it was like, that's such a, everybody was like, what are you doing, ma'am?
But she felt it. She had to do that.
And she ate that song.
Yeah.
It's a really good song.
Was it
It's such a good performance.
It was at the Grammys?
I want to say.
And while you look that up, I've like, she's done Saturday Night Live. She's done the Soul Train.
She did
SNL in 1975. She did Soul Train in 1971. She did Late Night with David Letterman in 1982. She performed at the Academy Awards in 1985. And she even did the BET Awards in 2010. She performed Silly with Monica because Monica sampled Silly.
For what?
She sampled Silly in the song Everything to Me.
Okay.
Monica, Everything to Me. And R. Kelly and Jay-Z featuring Cameron also sampled Free.
Okay.
In the song We Ride.
Okay. I do kind of remember that song, Loki. Yeah.
Yes. What song did she do at the Grammy?
Okay, so she did God Is Truly Amazing at the 27th annual Grammys, and when she was introduced by Andre Crouch.
Andre Crouch. Yeah.
But
who's a GOAT writer, like gospel songs? Andre Crouch. He's amazing. Was amazing. Wait, he's still alive?
I don't know.
I'm sorry if you are. I think you're amazing. That was so awkward. Dang.
You know who that reminded me of? I'm so sorry to this man.
Yeah.
I don't know
Keke Palmer with Dick Cheney.
Who was this man? So sorry to this man. But I don't know. It was a 27. So it was in the 80s. So probably around the time it's Let's Hear It for the Boy.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, she did her thing. And then after that. And
it was after Let's Hear It for the Boy.
It was after. Okay. And then this is the other thing which is interesting. Not only did she do it, and she was able to do it on stage, is that both genres, the people accepted her.
Right.
Because usually one of them is going to X you out.
Yeah. Well, people were saying that like she has like a calm energy and she has like a type of energy that's just chill. So a lot of artists too wanted to collaborate with her. And it was like cool. Like, you know, some artists just don't be chill.
Right.
And you could tell in their relationships, the type of relationships they have in the industry when they're not like super chill, you know? And the crazy thing is she has 4 Grammys that are gospel.
Yes.
You know? So like she's winning.
She is winning.
Like, yeah. So
which is, I mean, and that's just a hard to go from popular to gospel, and then you're getting Dove Awards and BET Awards, you know, like really not just Grammys for gospel,
right?
But like the Stella Awards, like those, that's the community, and like really accepting her. So it goes to show that like, it's who you are as a person, like your energy, that's really,
Well, yes, Miss Deniece, you're amazing, and it's been beautiful to like research your career. And I want to hear more music. You have more stuff to say?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what are some of your favorite songs?
Oh, Free.
Yeah.
I love Silly as well. I think, those two. Silly. They're both 2 hits, you know?
Conscience.
That's your favorite?
Conscience.
I think that's the first song you sent me, right? When you started your research.
Like, that's the song, like, that's one of the first songs when we were, Yeah. And it just stuck. Like, it speaks to me. I was like, yes, listen to your conscience.
Yes.
Another thing is like her message in her songs.
Yes, there's so like
it's like she talks about love, she talks about boys.
It's uplifting,
but overall, everything is like you could have anybody of any age listen to her album.
Yeah.
You know, she talks about just like being yourself, listening to yourself.
Yeah.
She's giving some dope messages in there.
Yeah.
Being true to who you are.
Right. Yeah. I love that. What a legacy to, to leave behind. It's pure.
It is
just
pure.
Like her voice.
It is. And a pure, like, untarnished career.
Yeah.
No scandals, no drama, no like reinvention to where it's like, who is this person? She didn't come out. Now, there's anything wrong with it, but she didn't have to sex it up to be popular.
Yeah.
You know.
Shout out to her.
Yes.
Yeah. We love you.
We love you, Deniece. Thank you for all of the like years and years of music.
Yes. And like, we want to hear more.
Solid music, yeah.
Yes. Go with them producers that you was with before too.
Right.
You know, in addition to whatever you wanted to. No pressure. Yes, but guys, I hope you all run up Miss Deniece's streams, Miss Williams streams, right? Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, her streams. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like and follow us on all social media at the ARkaiVE Pod. Yeah. Peace.